I don't want to be in their life. I don't want them in my life. That's what the whole fucking problem was.
Okay.
They pushed themselves into my life.
On March 20th, 2021, 52-year-old Jesse Huy called the 112 emergency service and said he had just shot his wife, Tanya, and his parents-in-law, Ronald and Linda Kohler. When they arrived at the house, the police found the 3 bodies sitting on chairs around the kitchen table, all with gunshot wounds to the head.
I shot my wife and her mom and her stepdad. Cold-blooded murder this afternoon.
Okay.
Shot them each twice in the head.
Okay. Well, that's about as straightforward as it gets. I'll go ahead and ask you, why'd you do that, Jesse?
I lost my temper.
Sure. Okay.
Wife had back surgery last week, Friday.
Okay, and so before we go any further, just so I have all my details crystal clear, what was your wife's name? Tanya. You said, before I interrupted you, you said that Tanya, a week ago, had back surgery.
Yes.
Okay.
Her mom and Ron live in a RV.
Okay.
They decided that they were coming to Missouri to support Tanya.
Sure.
In her recovery.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't get along with her mom, and never been hadn't been outward friction there, but I stayed away from them. Don't want them in my life. I don't want to be in their life,
Right.
And so what ended up happening is her mom moved in on me, and Ron would just come and show up at the house whenever and just walk right in through the door. Now, bearing in mind, that's my place, and I'm the one that pays the bill on it.
Right.
So I felt pretty disrespected.
Because it sounds like they would just show up and invite themselves.
Well, see, when Tanya and I got together years ago, her mom and Ron pulled this shit before, where they just show up, kind of unannounced and stay.
Yeah.
Which I don't agree with. I don't think you do that. I wouldn't do that to my own family.
Sure.
That's no social grace there at all. You understand what I'm saying? You don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
But they did it again, showed up. And, bearing in mind, my wife has just had lower back surgery, and I didn't want to make it hard for her.
And so did that surgery that she had, I imagine, being a back surgery, that it probably laid her out, she probably couldn't walk, or is that not the case?
She, at the very first, she was walking.
Yeah.
I had to help her get down in her chair. I had to help her get up out of her chair. I had to help her get into bed, swing her legs in for her and stuff. Her mom couldn't do any of that.
Yeah.
Her mom's got a bad back and bad stuff on her. So, her mom was basically just there for moral support, I guess, because she wasn't able to physically help her get up or get down or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Sure.
And so, over the course of the week, I'm watching my wife improve, where she's able to get up and walk around, go to the bathroom by herself without help, and all this kind of stuff. And Linda wasn't making any. There was no indication they were going to leave at all.
Really?
And I had talked to Tanya more than once that I wasn't happy about the situation.
Mm-hmm. So tell me how those conversations went.
Well, I told her, I said, I'm not happy about this. I ain't going to live like this.
Mm-hmm.
I said, they need to go. I am here. I offered to cook her anything she wanted. Her mom, like I said, wasn't able to physically help her do anything.
Yeah.
And like I said, I felt intruded upon. I felt disrespected. And, I pay the fucking bill on that place. So that gives me some say. Granted, she's on the note too. So, Linda came in and burrowed in like a tick and just pretty much made it obvious that she wasn't going anywhere. And she knew very well that I was not happy about it, because when I talked to Tanya probably Wednesday, and I left the front door open. Her mother was in the kitchen right there, and I left the front door open so she could hear every goddamn word.
Okay. Did they ever approach you about that?
No.
Okay. So earlier you...
And Tanya just basically told me, you know, basically she was just going to do what she wanted to do, and you know the way I felt just didn't matter.
So kind of disregarded your feelings.
Exactly.
We're going to stay here anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like I said, I let it go for several days, knowing that my wife is hurt, and you know.
So tonight, when this incident happened, specifically, what led up to this?
Well, I had gone out and visited some friends and went and had lunch and stuff.
Okay.
And when I come home, they were all gone. And I looked around the house, and it kind of looked to me like Linda may have picked up her stuff, like maybe she got the hint and left.
Right, okay.
And I was actually upstairs talking to my dad about the whole situation. And anyway, while I was up there, I see him roll in. And, you know, I went down there, and I walked in, and they're all sitting there in the kitchen.
And this is downstairs.
Downstairs. I walked in, and I said, Ron and Linda, you need to leave. And my wife said, they're not going anywhere. I'm half owner of this place. They stay here as long as they want to.
Mm-hmm.
So I went outside, I got my gun, I walked back in, I shot them all in the head. Then I shot them all in the head again to make sure they were down.
Okay. So where was Ron at when you shot him?
Sitting in my chair at the table.
Sitting in your chair at the table.
And you know, when I told them they needed to leave, you know, they didn't make a move to get up. They looked at her and decided they were staying.
They just ignored you.
And that's when I decided, all right then, because, you know, I warned her earlier in the week, and I told her I was very unhappy about this, and I said, you know, you're going to make me go off. Mm-hmm. And if you do, this is on you.
Yeah. And
this is what she got for it. She made me go off, and now there's 3 fucking dead people. It was over and under a minute. Mm-hmm. You know, I didn't start off with a handgun. Mm-hmm. That's where it ended up.
Yeah. Who was the first one of the 3 that you shot?
Ron.
You shot Ron. He was in your chair. Did he see you coming, or?
Yeah.
What did he say?
He started to try. First, he looked at her, and he started to turn his head to me, and by then, I got him. And Linda was all fucking surprised that I just shot Ron, and I shot her in the fucking head.
Did either one?
And then I turned and I shot her in the head.
Yeah.
You know, I warned them. I fucking told them. I guess she decided to call my bluff, so here we are.
Did any of them get anything out verbally?
No, nothing more than a little bit of a squeal. Like I said, it was all over real quick.
So they didn't have time to even say anything?
I shot them all 3 in the head, and then I shot him in the head again because I thought I seen him twitch, and I heard her gurgle. I heard Linda gurgle a little bit, so I went and put another one into her, and then I come back around to where Tanya was sitting, and I shot her again in the head to make sure she was done.
How long had you and Tanya been married?
I don't know, 5-6 years.
5-6 years. You know, I gotta ask Jesse, how are you feeling right now?
I'm upset, you know.
Sure.
Like I said, I didn't start off wanting to do this. I never wanted to do this. I feel like they pushed me to the point that I had to do it. So
you've given me a very understandable story about what's going on the last week, but specifically, can you kind of tell me like what has really specifically been happening between you and Linda and Ron for it to lead up to this? Like what kind of exchanges have there been between them?
I haven't had no exchanges with them. That's the point. I don't like them. Uh-huh. I don't want to be in their life. I don't want them in my life. That's what the whole fucking problem was. Okay. They pushed themselves into my life.
Had there been any threats back and forth on their side? Nothing? No threats or anything like
but I did tell Tanya earlier in the week that I was really unhappy with the way this was going, and I wasn't going to put up with it. And if she persisted, that You know, it was going to be on her. The consequences would be on her.
And
I guess she decided to call my bluff today.
Okay, and so when you told Tanya that the consequences would be on her, did you, elaborate and tell her what those consequences were?
No, I didn't.
Did she ask or anything like that?
No.
So it was kind of open-ended?
Yep.
Did you know what you were meaning at the time?
No, I didn't know what I was going to do, but I knew it wasn't going to be fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the deal. I'm a veteran. And generally speaking, most people that know me know when I say that I will do something, I will absolutely do it. Don't try me out, because I'll do it every damn time. Take me serious when I tell you something, and they did not take me serious. So this is the consequence of that. Now, I've killed them and ruined the lives of, their family, and I've ruined my life. I don't need a lawyer. I know what I did, and I know what I did was wrong, but the truth of the matter is I couldn't stop myself from doing it. It happened so fucking fast, I couldn't stop myself from doing it.
Mm-hmm. Have you had episodes or any sort of...
Yeah, I've been PTSD ever since I come out of the war. I've been dangerous for a long time, and I've been able to maintain and not get into trouble.
Sure.
I mean, you check my record. I ain't got nothing on me. I haven't done shit.
Sure.
But there's been 100 times over the years that I've gotten really close to being in serious trouble and was able to resist the temptation of letting go. Mm-hmm. This afternoon, I was pushed to the point I could not resist.
I'm assuming at some point deputies came and put handcuffs on you.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you, your guy Beatles.
Uh-huh.
Y'all better watch that one. He's got a mean streak to him.
Okay.
Just to let you know that.
Okay.
I mean, I realize I just killed 3 people, but I also fucking called you guys and turned myself in without fighting.
Okay.
So there was no need for that shit that he pulled.
Okay, well, look into that. And then I'll tell you, Jesse, it's me personally, it's my intent to treat you fairly. And if at any point you feel like I haven't, stop me and we'll address it.
Right, well, I'm telling you that he didn't treat me fairly, but I understand that's the way he is. Okay. That's why I'm telling y'all, you better watch that guy.
Okay.
You're going to have problems with him.
Okay. Well, is there anything else that you think is important for me to know about this situation or this incident, or any backstory? Anything else that you would like to tell me?
Really, that's all that you need to know about the whole thing. I mean, you know what? This has been brewing for a week here, and like I said, she moved in on me Saturday last week, and I have really bit my tongue, and I've tried to stay away from them. But every time Ron would show up and just walk through my door, that, like I said, I'm the one that pays the mortgage on the place. I really felt pretty disrespected. I wouldn't just assume that I could go to anybody else's house and just walk through the damn door.
Sure.
You don't do that. Mm-hmm. If this is the way it's going to be, that these folks think that they can show up and walk in my door anytime they want to and have no regard about how I feel about them being there, I knew I wasn't going to put up with that.
I can understand.
Not when I'm the guy that's paying the bills on the place, and like I said, it started out I was trying to take it easy on Tanya because I knew she was in the process of healing and all that stuff. I didn't want to make it rough on her.
Sure.
But as the week progressed, it became apparent to me that Linda had no intention of leaving.
Sure.
And, Tanya had no intention of asking them to leave.
So, yeah, the situation you described to me, it does sound incredibly disrespectful, them coming in the house like that. But I gotta ask, I mean, did you feel like you were in any type of danger physically from this?
No.
No. Okay.
I didn't want to murder 3 people today, okay? I lost it. Okay, I didn't have control over that. I know what I did was wrong.
Sure, Jesse, this is the first time
I had no control over. Yeah. I mean, when I snapped, I snapped. Okay, like I said, I know it wasn't right. Okay, and I'm not trying to say that them forcing their way into my home and doing that justifies what I did, because it didn't.
Sure. And Jesse, clearly, by what you just said, a mistake has been made, but I'm not going to sit in here and berate you for it. I'm just trying to get the whole story.
Yep.
So I'm not going to sit in here and judge you and talk down to you. That's definitely not what I'm trying to do.
It wouldn't be a good idea for you guys to put me with anybody, because now that I've murdered 3 people, I ain't got nothing holding me back. Don't put me with someone. It's probably not going to be a good idea if you do that.
Well, I can certainly...
I'm telling you I'm dangerous, and it would be a bad idea for you to do that.
Okay. Well, we'll make sure that message gets passed along, because I don't want to see anybody else get hurt. Or
I mean, like I say, I just killed 3 people, so another one ain't going to fucking make a difference to me now.
Okay. But I can tell, though, that, you know, again, we know a mistake's been made, but I know that if you could take this back, you would, right?
You know, I would like to. I wish I could take it back, but you know, on the other hand, I really wish I hadn't been put in that position.
Sure.
I've been waiting a fucking week. You know, I've got a personal code. If someone disrespects me 3 times, then I'm gonna fix that problem.
Sure.
And you know, I've went way over the 3 times this week in an effort to try to make this work.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, this afternoon when I walked in, I wasn't loud screaming at him, wasn't trying to fight with him. I was very calm. I just said, Ron, Linda, you guys need to go.
Mm-hmm.
Tanya had every opportunity to stop this. Mm-hmm. I talked to her Tuesday or probably Wednesday.
Mm-hmm. And
I told her that this shit, you know, how unhappy I was, and that, you know, I was about to pop about it. You know, I was about to go off.
Mm-hmm.
I told her, you know, I understand that she's here for your moral support. You know, but this is enough. I've had enough. And you know, she had no respect for what I wanted. Mm-hmm. Or how I felt about it. You know, she was going to do what she wanted to do, and by today they were making a point with me that they're going to do what they want to do.
You said a few days ago, I think you might have said Wednesday, when you brought this up to Tanya, did she kind of tell you as much as she did today about how...
Oh, she pretty much, you know, told me she's going to do what she wants to do.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's when I told her, you know, you keep pushing this, you're going to get what you get when I go off, and it's going to be your own damn fault.
Did you and Tanya ever get into arguments about other stuff? I know all married couples get in fights once in a while, but did you guys ever get into it about anything else other than her parents?
Sure.
Well, what kind of stuff would you guys get into it about?
She was pretty disappointed, you know, when my hip and my knee and my low back went out and I couldn't work anymore.
Yeah.
You know, she was pretty disappointed about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Did any of those arguments become physical?
No.
Okay, so she never brought any violence on you?
No.
You never brought any on her?
No.
Any verbal threats one way or the other?
No, not really.
Okay. All right. Well, I think that's going to be it. And again, Jesse, I really do appreciate you sitting in here and being cordial with me and helping me understand what happened. It does mean a lot, and I'm going to document everything we talked about in the report, and I'm going to document it just like you told me, just straight up facts. And, you know, that's why it's important to talk that way. I'm not having to speculate or guess about anything. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to walk you over to the jail, and I'm going to come back over and work on what's called a probable cause statement. And I'm going to send that probable cause statement to the Greene County Prosecutor's Office. And once I get that to them, they'll review it, and they'll decide if I have probable cause to believe that you committed murder today or not. And depending on how they review that, there might be a warrant issued for your arrest, which point would be a bail or a bond. Obviously, you'd already be in the jail, but that's going to be kind of the next part of this.
I really don't expect to be bonded or bailed out.
Sure.
I know I ain't going anywhere or doing anything ever again.
That's just the procedure that every single case goes through.
Let's get on with it.
You've been straight with me, so I just wanted to be straight with you. And
I appreciate you.
And let you know exactly. Before we do go next door, did you have any other last minute questions?
I don't.
Okay. Well, I might end up taking you up on a future conversation if that's something that we think we need anything else. Otherwise, I'm going to step out one last time, put my stuff back on my desk, and we'll get you next door.
Okay.
Jesse was convicted of 3 murders and sentenced to life in prison. What do you think about this case? If you were in Jesse's shoes and your partner let his family live in your house without your permission, how would you react? Leave your opinion in the comments.